Well, Warriors fans, when Steph Curry goes 0 for 8 in a basketball game, you can't really expect the Golden State Warriors to win the game, can you? It's like expecting another Nicolas Cage movie to actually be profitable at the box office. Of course that's not going to happen. Welcome to the NBA Rundown. On today's show, we are going to talk about the Golden State Warriors, if you will. This is our mid-season report on the Golden State Warriors. All right, once again, thanks so much for tuning in to the NBA Rundown. As always, I am Dave DeBaugh, coming to you live and on tape from the heart of the Silicon Valley. Now, there are so many places we can start when we talk about this Golden State Warriors season. If you will, to this point, it's been a season of two different seasons. Yes, the initial 3 weeks of the season had a lot of people, including me, actually talking about how brilliant Steve Kerr was by having a 12-player rotation. Well, as we know, injuries have certainly piled up for the W's at this point, and those injuries are absolutely affecting this Golden State Warriors team's ability to actually win games on a consistent basis. If you take a look at the actual NBA standings on a Monday afternoon, January 27th, what you will find is that the Warriors are currently in 11th spot. They have actually won 4 out of their last 10 games, and there's only one other team above them in the Western Conference that has also only won 4 out of 10 games, and that is the injury-ridden Dallas Mavericks, who are also 4-6. All the other teams above them in the standings in the Western Conference have a winning record over the last 10 games. To say that the Golden State Warriors season is in jeopardy of completely slipping away at this point is certainly a bit of an understatement. Now, in terms of what went down against the Los Angeles Lakers the other day, you know, Anthony Davis did what Anthony Davis does when the Los Angeles Lakers perceive it to actually be a big game. He showed up, he scored 36 points, he had 13 rebounds, and we know that Draymond Green wasn't there. The Warriors actually ended up losing only by 10 points in that game, but Steph Curry, as I mentioned, went 0 for 8 in the second half of the game. He finished the game actually with just 13 points in that particular game. And if you take a look at what the Warriors, or what the rest of the Warriors roster actually did, you can understand why the Warriors ended up losing to the Lakers, who, by the way, this game was never really in doubt, was it, Dub Nation? That being said, only playing Trayce Jackson-Davis 14 minutes is probably not going to get it done for the Warriors. Having Andrew Wiggins score 20 points is one thing, but having Andrew Wiggins go 1 for 6 from the three-point arc is another thing. From a team perspective, they were, from the three-point arc in this particular game, they shot a 34.8%, which is a horrible number for a team that basically invented the modern-day three-point shooting attack. I have to say, all of the pieces that this team has made to this point have been good enough to give the Warriors a shot at being a 500 team. At this point, if the Warriors are serious about not letting this season slip away, they will certainly need to make a move. Now, one of the moves that's been discussed is Nikola Vučević. I always struggle with Vučević's first name. He is, at this point, so many years into his career, and to give up a first-round draft pick, which is what Chicago's asking for at this point for a 34-year-old who can give you 20 and 10 a night, does feel like a lot to give up for the Warriors. They would have to believe that the move to bring in Vučević was really going to make a significant difference for this basketball team. Look, we know where Draymond Green is at this point in his career. He is halfway down the backside of career mountain. And I hate to say it, we know that Steph is starting to ski down the backside of career mountain as well. That doesn't mean that Steph Curry is still not great on most nights, and that doesn't mean that Draymond Green still can't be great on most nights that he's actually healthy enough to play. But when you look at the rest of the makeup of this roster at this point, and if you were like trying to figure out how do you grade this Warrior team at this point, just look at the box score from the game against the Lakers. And you see Lindy Waters, who's supposed to be a three-point specialist, actually only played 2 minutes in the game. Look, I don't want to come down on Steve Kerr too much, but it's safe to say that the Buddy Hield experience hasn't really gone as well for the Warriors as they had hoped. It's almost as if the Warrior organization didn't pay any attention to how bad Buddy Hield had actually been over the last 2 years. Yes, there was a point earlier in Buddy Hield's career where I believe he would have been worth the money that they're actually talking about spending on Buddy. But at this point, it certainly makes no sense. 2 for 8 from the three-point arc for Buddy Hield in the game against the Los Angeles Lakers at Chase Center the other day. So taking a step back from all of this at this point, we heard Steph Curry and we heard Draymond Green basically come out and say, don't mortgage the future for this team. It's sort of the opposite of what LeBron James and Anthony Davis have said in the last couple weeks with the Los Angeles Lakers. They're also exploring whether or not they want to go after Vučević as well. There are 5 other teams in the association right now that would love to go get Vučević. Now, we know that Jimmy Butler just flat out walked out on the Miami Heat earlier today when he was told that he's not going to be in the starting lineup. And I really don't think that a Jimmy Butler makes a lot of sense for this Golden State Warrior team, considering the kind of baggage he'll bring with him, also considering the kind of exit he will most likely have when he decides, if he were to become a Warrior, to actually leave the Warriors. At this point, I want to ask you, the Warriors fans, I want to ask Dub Nation, what are your thoughts? What can this Golden State Warriors team do at this point to actually salvage the season? What would you do if you were the general manager? Would you go ahead and take a shot and try to make a couple other moves, knowing that you were mortgaging a piece of the future away? All right, that's what I've got for you today. Thanks so much for tuning in to the NBA Rundown. For the NBA Rundown, I'm Dave DeBaugh, wishing you all a tremendous rest of your sports viewing day.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.